Hello and welcome again to Forgotten Temples with myself, Mr. B. Now, what's behind me here is Prasat Linga 2. Now, we've already seen one of these temples, Prasat Linga 1. This is another in the near vicinity. And firstly, I'm going to walk away from you to show you how big this temple is. Don't be fooled looking at your screen thinking this is a small dumpy temple. I mean, hello, but I've pretty much almost disappeared from your screen. So allow me to head back towards you. These temples were built to hold Shiva lingas, so people may come and get their blessings. As I mentioned in the other video, these are very functional temples. They are machines made out of stone. And many people would have come here because we are in the Kokur complex built by Jayavarman IV, and he reigned from this very city, which has now returned to the jungle. There's a few dirt roads and a lot of temples like this. There's in fact about 40. And these kind of temples always catch my eye because, as I said, they were functional. People interacted with them. Allow me to show you how they work. And here it is set against the lovely jungle and that piercing blue sky with the occasional white puffy cloud. It is absolutely remarkable, this place. There are plenty of temples in this abandoned city, and as I say, it is here where the king himself resided. This is where he ruled from, and there is a reason. It is believed he came from this area. Now again we see the feature, which is this depression in the wall. And we have steps leading up to it. Can you see them here? Now, I would believe that these steps led up to a once mighty statue that reigned here. Sadly, now gone. And we see the depression again at the back here. And again with these steps going up. Or, of course, it could have been one almighty blind doorway. But I don't believe so, because it doesn't look like any other one that I've seen. Now, what I'm keeping a keen eye on here is, do we see a difference in the pattern? And we do. It's almost indistinguishable, but I believe something different is happening here. Isn't it incredible to think these ancient steps here that we now ascend, you and I together, were trodden a millennia ago, and it's here that people would have come, because it is this hole that makes all the difference. Can you see here? But to tell its story, we need to go to the other side of this wall. Stepping back, that hole is really easy to miss, isn't it? But as I say, it is the raison d'etre. It is the very reason for this machine. And if we head on up through this doorway, we'll be able to see what is going on as we clamber over these almighty blocks that are now just strewn all over the place. And as we go in, here it is. Here is the beating heart of the machine. This is what this construction's all about. And here it is. And it is quite simply vast. Let me just get a little bit closer, and you can see he's way taller than I am. Now, I've addressed Shiva lingas before, so I won't go into the explanation. I've come into this temple so I could show you how the machinery works, and also as to its size. On this occasion, unlike the Linga 1 temple, I couldn't really give you an idea as to perspective. But this yoni, for that's what the linga sits in, is called a yoni, is just enormous. I mean, I have no idea how they moved this thing. I mean, I've been to the pyramids at Giza in Egypt, and it's easily on par with anything I've seen there. I mean, this, if I lay down and I pretend I'm 6 feet, this is approximately, I don't know, it's 11 feet by 11 feet. And my goodness, it is deep and it's beautifully detailed. But what we need to see is how this actually functioned, because it did actually work, as I say, as a kind of blessing machine. So what would happen here is priests or the nobles would come and they would pour water over the Linga. And then the water would enter into the yoni, this area here. Then it was down this amazingly precisely carved channel. I mean, look, this is very hard stone. And look at the angles here. It's a thing of beauty that they created something of such perfection. Now, there's a bit missing here, but this would have continued and then gone into this hole. And can we, oh, look at that. Good Lord. We can actually, let's give it a clean, why not, eh? Look, can you see the light through there? Yes. This goes all the way through this mighty wall, and that is where the water would have come out. And it would have been sacred, blessed water. But it's not just the might of this thing. I mean, it really is enormous. I can't tell you. It's the detailing. And if we look up here, we can see this lovely, where would be best to go? This way seems to be rather good. This lovely carved work here. But if you think that is good, well, let's have a look down here, because this is amazingly detailed. Let me put my fingernail next to it. There we go. Now, do you get an idea as to how detailed this thing actually is? And that is Prasat Linga too. And any building as old and as ancient as this, that we can actually decode and know its exact purpose, always fascinates me. And just like the other video, I'm going to end next to the actual spout, because as we know, this hole goes all the way through. We've seen the light, shall we say. And just imagine, even the height this is placed at, because these steps are original steps. I looked down just to check. Yes, they are. So there's no build up here of earth or anything. So the actual stands, and people would have been smaller in that days. So let me just reduce my height. They would have stood like this. Now, isn't that perfect? Here is the hole. You see my hand disappearing into it there. They would have been about this height and they're fully stretched. I think that's amazing. Yes, I've only just done that and that's really brought it to me. They would have stood like this with their bowl, looking for offerings, looking for help, with both hands clasped together. And they would have taken that blessed water and returned it home, maybe to sprinkle on their crops, maybe for a sick child or elderly relative, maybe for themselves to cure some heartache of some love that they yearn for. Who knows? But believe me, they came in their droves and they stood here exactly like this. Ha! That is why I love temples like this. They really do speak to you, don't they? Wow. Well, it's been a fantastic little trip round. I hope you've enjoyed it. As always, please like, subscribe and comment. And if by chance a few coins could go into my Patreon account to help me down the road and build this library, the address is on the screen, www.patreon.com/temples. Until next time, take the very best of care.